if you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And I know if you go to God and ask Him, He will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. Again, I love you as a person. And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Yes.
This is D, and Let's Stress for Life. That's what's up. Many people just do not understand it. What happened? Botham Jean's brother gave Amber Guyger a hug. But before he gave her a hug, what did he do? Talked about forgiving her. And then you had Judge Kemp. What did she do? She gave old girl a Bible. And she hugged Amber Guyger. What is this about black folk? I mean, think about what's his name. What was his name? Dylan Ruth. Before they even realized who it was good. And most certainly before Dylan Ruth even asked for forgiveness. I don't even know if he ever did ask for forgiveness. They forgave him. Man, what is it with black folk and forgiveness? Well, I'd like to think that maybe it's because that Bible, Christianity, is much deeper in the DNA, in the souls of black folk than people care to think. Even during the civil rights struggle, the black church seemed to serve as headquarters. And before the 60s, you had Congressman Adam Clayton Powell Jr. Before he was a congressman, he was a minister. And along with him was his beautiful wife, Hazel Scott, a church-going woman. Keep dialing it back. During the times of slavery, who did you have as the Moses for her people? Excuse me, she was not the Stephen Hawking for her people. She was the Moses for her people. She believed in God. She believed in Christ. Along with her, Frederick Douglass. Along with Frederick Douglass, Nat Turner. Did I mention Sojourner Truth? All of these individuals had something deep within them. And that deep within them wasn't atheism. They all believed in Christ. They had a Christian base. But did Christianity start at the shores of America once they got off the slave ships? Or was Christianity present even before they entered those slave ships? In a book entitled Great African Thinkers, the authors share a story of Tewodros, as he communicated with Queen Victoria. But let me read it to you. Segai Medin Gabre, an Ethiopian playwright, tells how General Napier had been ordered by the British to overthrow the Emperor Tewodros and conquer Ethiopia. It was also a time when Queen Victoria had penned an insolent letter to Tewodros. She was suggesting that he should invite British missionaries to spread the Christian gospel in his kingdom. Tewodros, along with his icily polite reply, had sent Victoria the copy of a Bible that had been published in Ethiopia 2 centuries before the English had even embraced Christianity. And as a footnote, he had pointed out that if missionaries were to be dispatched, perhaps they should be sent from Ethiopia to Britain and not the other way round. Maybe Christianity has been in black folk for a minute. But I got more. This is from a book entitled The Great Controversy. Once again, we talk about before they hit the shores of North and South America. Upon obtaining supreme power, Rome had trampled upon the Sabbath of God to exalt her own. But the churches of Africa, hidden for nearly 1,000 years, did not share in this apostasy. When brought under the sway of Rome, they were forced to set aside the true and exalt the false Sabbath. But no sooner had they regained their independence than they returned to obedience to the fourth commandment. Wow. While the Dark Ages were going on, while Europe was in the middle of religious and political oppression, Christianity was flourishing on the African continent. And I mean, that would make sense that Christianity was flourishing on the African continent. If you think Alexandria was a main center of the early church. Wow. Let's go to the Bible. That same book that Judge Kemp gave to Amber Guyger, hoping that she reads it and gets converted. If you want to know how Christianity got to Africa, one thing that you can do is you can go to Acts chapter 8. And in Acts chapter 8, you're going to see the story of the Ethiopian eunuch. I mean, he was the treasurer of Candace, so he had influence. So more than likely, when he learned of this message, he spread this message. But along with him, Matthew 27, Mark 15, Luke 23. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about Simon of Cyrene. He's the brother who carried the cross of Christ. And then, I mean, come on. I mean, Christianity would not be Christianity without Christ. Folks sing that song, Sweet Little Jesus Boy, Born in a Manger. Sweet little holy child, we didn't know who you were. Not only did they not know who he were, they didn't know where he were. Born in Bethlehem, exiled to Egypt. Never said Christ went to Europe, but he most certainly went to Africa. He blessed the motherland with his presence. Christ is all up in Africa, and Christianity is all up in Africans. Well, that's all we got for now. This is D, and Let's Dress for Life. That's what's up. Peace.